Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
Fantasy Sports puts you in control of your own team. The Nick Bonsanto Show is proud to present the Star Fantasy League Show. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, co-hosted by SFL CEO Zach Stanley and SFL COO Seth Young. The Star Fantasy League Show, on the air.
Make this game your finest hour.
Now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on the Sports Byline USA Network. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined as always by COO of StarFantasyLeagues.com, Mr. Seth Young.
It's great to be here today. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
What in the world was that?
I'm sorry, we may or may not have conspired in the car on the way to the gym.
I can imagine that's exactly what went on.
The man that is angrier than all hell right now is CEO of Star Fantasy Leagues, Mr. Zach Stanley.
Yeah, it's not nice to see.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm glad that I get to spend 3 nights in a row with Seth.
It might have to be 4. I believe it's 4 tomorrow.
Some people like that. I'm married to one of them.
Yeah, you know what the best
I think
part?
she likes it anyway.
Well, right now we're at 3, and I'm starting to get a little bit irked.
You know what the thing is? This week we decided, since you guys love the show so much, we're going to do it 5 days in a row, Monday through Friday. Hopefully we don't make this a thing, guys. We're going to kill each other if we're here 5 days a week.
What are you talking about? I love both of you.
And it's going to end up with some clawing and some
There's
terrible
so
things.
much love in this room.
You know what? The only kind of love that's in this room now is Zach and I's love for NBA basketball.
Yeah, I'm hearing crickets on everything you're saying, Seth.
Where's the love? Why
love
can't
it.
we all just get along?
He is so upset that he did not get introduced first on the Star Fantasy League show that it's just going to ruin the rest of the show.
It's borderline unacceptable.
He's sitting here cross-armed with a scowl on his face.
Especially for how many times Seth continues to visit Bratislava.
Bratislava?
I don't understand.
I was just
this.
in Pawtucket.
Isn't that where you were?
We are changing everything up here on the Star Fantasy League show. I don't know where Seth's been. I don't know where he's going. All I know is today on the show we are breaking down NBA lineups today, and we're also breaking down NBA lineups on whatever day tomorrow is, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's every day. Who knows? And we're also going to do Jonathan's mailbag because, come on, it's the best part of the day. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
Nick Bonsanto is proud to present the Star Fantasy League Show. Feel free to tweet the show at SFL Show. Let's do this. Time for your Star Fantasy League's NBA Fantasy Lineup Breakdown.
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. Voiceover Cage Guy. It is time for NBA lineup breakdown for Wednesday. We've never done this. Zach, we're in uncharted territories. We always talk about it on Tuesday shows. We've never had a Wednesday show. What do we do? There's so many games.
What do I do?
I'm happy to be doing it, and I'm happy to hear what Seth has going on because I'm already suspect.
That is
I've got
true.
a winning lineup tonight.
The best thing that we do on the Star Fantasy League show is Seth has been learning basketball. He's a self-proclaimed novice at the game. He's learning. We're seeing how he progresses. He breaks down his lineup on StarFantasyLeagues.com. You start off with a $100,000 salary cap, 2 guards, 2 forwards, 2 centers, 2 utility. That's any player you want. Got to stay under that $100,000 cap. If you get the most points, you win the most money. Easy game.
So I got to tell you, I've played season-long basketball before, and daily fantasy basketball on StarFantasyLeagues.com is a completely different animal than a season-long competition.
It's different. You gotta pay attention to stats you weren't paying attention to, players you weren't paying attention to. It's
you
a lot
really
different.
have to have a ton of knowledge about basketball. I mean, it goes down to even like refs' tendencies in the game.
No, it does not.
Stop.
Of course
that.
No,
does.
it absolutely does not.
No,
And
do not
I
take
honestly
his advice.
can't believe
Yeah.
you just said that. You know, maybe if you were talking about like betting and Tim Donaghy or something, that would make sense.
Yeah, there's certain refs.
It
that
goes
don't
down
like
to
certain
refs'
teams.
tendencies. So go ahead and do your research on refs' tendencies.
Yeah, please don't. That's not a stat you should ever look at.
Asinine.
Seth,
So
this
you're
is-
telling me that would be detrimental for you to know?
For all
Oh
the
my
compliments
God.
I've given you over the past couple nights, I'm just very disappointed
They've
right
been
now.
retracted. They're done.
disgusted.
All right, Seth, start off with your lineup. Let's see how you did. I feel like Zach and I are going to pan you today. It's going to happen.
So I'm going to start off with the 2 guys who I
sorry.
think you're going to rip me apart for, but the rest of my lineup looks pretty good. And I put in Bradley Beal tonight again because, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Bradley Beal was supposed to have a good game last night.
Don't ever say was supposed to. Always say had a favorable matchup. Was playing well against. Don't say that's not the way we look at it.
Anyway, I've got Bradley Beal in tonight. I thought he had a favorable matchup. And
it turns out he does. Atlanta doesn't guard, that area very well. The 20th in the league against the shooting.
So I've got him in my lineup. I suppose there are some other people for a similar price that I could have put in, which I'm sure Zach will cover when he talks about his lineup. But the other guy who I put in who I thought was going to have a good matchup was C.J. Miles, or rather get some playing time and put up some points for his value because he's at near the minimum with Deion Waiters out. And Jarrett Jack and him doing a rotation, but it looks like C.J. Miles is at the lower end of that rotation.
Well, he still gets minutes, but he doesn't really. Like we mentioned, the word usage rate the other day. It's when players are on the court, how much of those minutes are actually useful, like what they're doing. Like, are they getting the ball? Are they producing any kind of stats at all? And C.J. Miles really doesn't do that much. He has hot nights where he just shoots really well, but that's pretty much all he does.
Yeah, he's a streaky guy, and honestly, for as low as he was tonight, I don't think that's that bad of a play.
It's not the worst play yet.
And it looks like Cleveland is blowing out Orlando right now, which could work in his favor in the second half. So we'll see. If he gets hot on a couple of shots, he can produce and make value.
This is true.
I ain't mad at you.
I've also got in my lineup tonight Nene Hilario. I thought that he's also got for his value, he was a good play. I thought
he's going up against Elton Brand tonight. So yes, that's perfectly fine. He's around, I believe, 13,000 on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
Like
yeah, I believe that's what it was.
And then I've got some of the old faithfuls in there. Tristan Thompson's in tonight.
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean the old
How
faithful?
How is Tristan Thompson an old faithful?
Well, he's been producing. Anderson Varejao is still out, so he was gonna, he's gonna put up some numbers.
Okay, I was saying you got to explain exactly why Tristan Thompson is old reliable right now. Like
so
right
now he's reliable. He's a stud in my lineup.
And classic dumb comment from a Yankee.
Whatever. I've also got Dwight Howard in. Because he's playing the Lakers. You guys talked about this last night, and I feel like whenever somebody plays the team that they're coming from, there's a little bit of a fire in their belly. Plus, the Lakers are terrible.
I was going to say, it doesn't hurt that they're 30th against the center position and the fact that they're just really good.
What was Dwight Howard's salary?
He's about $19,000 tonight.
Yeah, not bad.
I've also got Tyler Zeller in on the Cavs.
So now there's the Cav I like tonight. I'm not going to admit to putting in Cody Zeller by accident for the second time this season. But I did.
Oh, it's working in your favor so far.
Well, no, I have both of them. I have one lineup with Cody, one lineup with Tyler.
That's sheer fortune.
Yes,
and I've also got, to round up my lineup, I have Kemba Walker.
Yeah, we're never going to be mad. Like we mentioned, Charlotte and Detroit played last night. Al Jefferson went off. Kemba Walker went off. Drummond had a really good game, 16 points, 22 rebounds.
Yeah, we talked about this. You really can't go wrong, I don't think, in this type of situation with Kemba or Al Jefferson. This is both a matchup which they can thrive in.
I'll say, in hindsight, we're going to be upset about Al Jefferson only putting up almost 14 points in the 14 fantasy points in the first half.
He's a second-half guy, though. He always is.
I mean, that's definitely true. And, yeah, who do they have to really guard him? If Drummond is out with fouls, they have literally nobody to guard him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have a solid second half and at least get over 30, 35.
Yeah, I mean, that's the low end of what we can expect.
Yeah, we'd be hoping he gets 40, but if he gets hot, that's always possible.
His salary's getting up there, too. He's around high 18s, low 19s.
I know. He deserves it.
Oh, that's true. He is putting up comparable stats to that guy that's around 20K named Dwight Howard.
You deserve it, Al.
So what do you think of my lineup on the whole tonight?
I feel like there is a curve of knowledge that's going on, and I think it is going up ever so slightly every time Seth picks a lineup.
I can't believe that you were that nice. I really thought you were going to pan something. There were a couple
that's
picks
why
that were
I inserted
suspect.
the ever so, but
yeah.
A little
baby steps.
He's inching along.
You're definitely listening to our play of the day. You're listening to the players that we're saying are values. You're doing it, but then there's a couple picks you go, well, I guess I had money left over.
So to show that you guys really know your stuff.
Oh no.
The guys that I have put in that I took your advice on are the ones that are producing, and the guys that I picked on my own doing my own research, they're not so good.
I don't like to toot my own horn, but thank you.
But I'm learning, and part of this learning process is trial and error, and everything takes practice.
That is 100% true. Do your research. Keep doing it. If you do poorly the first couple times, keep at it. It's all about research.
That's why I'm playing the free games at StarFantasyLeagues.com. I'm not ready to graduate yet.
That's very true. All you got to do on StarFantasyLeagues.com is play the Tuesday and Thursday $50 free roll if you want to get that big money, or play any other day, $10 NBA free roll.
I know you guys have been going to the gym together. I think things are getting a little wishy-washy here. Maybe all that sweat and looking at each other has gotten you a little riled up.
All right, fine, Zach. Who do you have? Who are you going to impart your knowledge? You got a couple minutes left.
Well, my lineup could not be tonight without my pick of the night, James Harden.
Terrible pick.
Yeah. The play of the night is
James
the Terrell.
Harden is a man.
I would like to say that
yellow
your
shirt.
CP3 pick the other day, what happened to
I know.
CP3?
He got 30. It was
It
not good. And honestly, the thing that really made me a little nervous was the fact that Corey Joseph was playing, who has demonstrated that he can play better defense than Tony Parker.
It's not hard.
And right, that's not hard. And I also think that, maybe CP3 was influenced by the fact that it wasn't Tony Parker and he didn't put as much into it as he usually does.
Yeah, you know what? I think he is a guy that steps up to big matchups.
Oh, he definitely does.
He probably saw
and going
Tony
toe-to-toe with Parker, how many times they've done that over their careers, I think he was looking forward to that.
See, now,
and
Seth,
I was looking forward to that.
Seth, we don't care about ref matchups. We care about things like that.
That was a late announcement, and I can't blame myself.
That's true.
I will not take the blame.
We did this show well before that. But who else you got? Obviously, Harden's a guy. I believe we agree on Dwight Howard. Those are people that we just want to get in there. Tyler Zeller. Who else you got him?
I've got Corey Joseph in again.
Again.
Which he didn't perform that well last night. Was it last night? Yeah.
Yeah, it was last night. Back to back.
But he's still at 5,800. I think he's got the potential to really perform. Damian Lillard, not a great defender. He's pretty much gotten taken care of by every point guard that he's faced. And I think that could happen again tonight. I also have Rudy Gay in tonight, who is one of my favorite plays for the night.
The abyss of Rudy Gay.
And the reason for that is, one, a pretty delicious matchup against Golden State. And two, it looks like DeMarcus Cousins will not be playing tonight. And
Marcus Thornton was just
and
shipped
Marcus
off.
Thornton. And the last few times that Cousins hasn't played, wow, Rudy Gay has gone crazy.
Not only that, but I actually like Derek Williams because of that. If DeMarcus Cousins doesn't play, he's at around $7,000. He's one of those plug-in plays I absolutely love. Oh, it looks like you got him too.
He's in my lineup.
Oh, baby.
Aren't you guys just so
smart? You know another guy at that price that I really like tonight because Avery Bradley's out for a while is Gerald Wallace. Has been starting at the 2 guard, but he's still listed as a forward on StarFantasyLeagues.com. He's been producing when he starts. He's getting 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah, Wallace has been able to put up some major lines if he gets the minutes. And if Brad Stevens doesn't get upset with him because he's not performing early on.
And Rondo's playing tonight. I actually have Rondo and Gerald Wallace in one of my lineups because I like when he's healthy. He makes sure everyone else on his team is happy, and he still manages to get his 40 points every single night.
Are you upset about these rumors that are going around lately?
What are you talking about? Every year this time of year, we get the Rondo's being shipped to Team X. If
it happens, I'll be so upset. I love Rondo.
I'm just upset. I really don't want to see Rondo go. I'm a huge Celtic fan.
Well, I'm sitting next to Seth, so how do you think I feel?
I know, that's true.
Come on.
When we come back from break, we're going to be talking some Giles mailbag. I think these rumors are going to come up a little bit. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on the Nick Monsanto Show here on the Sports Byline USA Network. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy Leagues team by tweeting at SFL Show.
Read it.
You heard the man. It is mailbag time.
It's mailbag time.
You know what? I love when our voice guy takes off his little carpet that he lays under and gets out from his cage and puts something together like that.
What are you talking about? He's in his cage. We just put the microphone in there.
He took a break from his Jenga game.
So apparently he's got Jenga. He's got some water bottles. Man, he's just a happy little guy.
We give him so much, you know.
This is very, very true. Let's get right into it. I absolutely love Jonathan's mailbag because guess what? It's my mailbag. That's the only reason I love it so much.
Wow, that was a great explanation, John.
You can all shut
Tell me another reason why you like your mailbag so much.
Because it's my mailbag.
Great.
It does make sense.
All right, let's start off. Father Mohagan writes.
If it was my mailbag, I'd be happy.
Father Mohagan writes, what a surprise. With players like LaMarcus Aldridge, Tony Parker, and DeMarcus Cousins missing significant time down the stretch, who do you see as good long-term fantasy replacements? Long-term meaning, I'm assuming season-long, but also obviously daily. You can get people in more than once. We mentioned a couple weeks ago, Nick Calathes was he was a one-time start that turned into, 8 starts?
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious here that the Kings are hoping that Ben McLemore is going to somehow become the player that they want him to be. He's a young guy.
They took away his safety net. They just removed Marcus Thornton.
He's a young guy. He's got potential, but he hasn't shown it yet. He hasn't shown what he's capable of. And we're really going to need to see something out of him within the next year and a half before they pull the plug on him.
Yeah,
he's really going to need to start producing.
What do you feel like about this LaMarcus Aldridge thing? They said he may miss significant time. He said he reevaluated at the end of the week, so he's definitely missing a week. If this is season long, you're kind of screwed if you put him in this week.
For a team that has surprised a lot of people this year, that is very, very concerning.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They have nobody behind him.
If he misses any large amount of time, the offense runs around him. He is the focal point of that offense. They need him more than anything. I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Robin Lopez does in his absence because he's the only big guy on the roster.
Yeah,
basically.
and Robin Lopez, he's
solid.
Yeah, he's played very well, and honestly, with all the injuries that Brook Lopez has been suffering, it's possible that going forward, he could be a bigger fantasy asset, I think. I really believe that.
I would say I've started him a few times. He's just always good for like 12 points, 10 rebounds around there, a couple assists. He's just he's solid. That's what we can say. He's a fantasy stalwart.
He likes to rebound and block and play defense a lot more than his brother.
Yeah, unlike his brother who doesn't do much of anything at all. It's pretty standard. All right, moving on. Seth, this is a question for you. TJ Oshie writes, are you paying attention to me now, SFL show? Seriously, bros. You must have seen our dominating performance in the quarterfinals against the Czech Republic. Bring on the Canadians.
And are you paying attention to what we're talking about now?
Well, the only thing I was checking out was TJ Oshie's fiance.
Get it? Checking out?
Yes.
Oh, man. Remember when you said that last night? Now you're saying it again? Thanks.
Man, she's just a wonderful lady. She's probably more talented than he is.
She's actually going to be on the show tomorrow, Seth, so you can ask her any kind of awkward
I'm going to tell your wife that you mentioned your wife once a show and her twice.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
That's true.
Go nuts.
We sure as hell know she's not
Then
listening.
we'll all go do gymnastics.
Yeah, that's strange. I don't want to do that.
I want to do some tumbling.
So what are you feeling, guys? 5-2 win today. 5 different USA scorers. It was dominant.
I think there's only one player on USA who doesn't have a point right now.
At this point, I would be very disappointed if they didn't take down Canada. The way that Canada has played
poorly.
And the way USA has played has just been unbelievable. They look like the best team out there, honestly, to me. They just got snubbed by a goal differential by not getting the number 1 seed and avoiding playing Canada before the Gold Cup game. But I'm pumped.
I'm excited to see USA versus Canada, and I guess I'm a little disappointed that I didn't see Latvia get the potato in the net, but they really gave Canada a run for the money. I think a USA-Latvia game just would have been really kind of, we want to see USA win the gold, great. But who doesn't want to watch USA-Canada?
Yeah, of course. Everyone wants to watch USA Canada.
That's the real gold medal game.
Yeah. I don't agree with that at all.
Good.
Why not?
Because if they have to play Sweden, that'll be just as challenging of a game, especially the way Canada's been playing.
Yeah, but it's not the same rivalry.
I don't care.
Oh, my.
You can't say it's the gold medal game because if we win and then don't win the gold, we don't go home with the gold.
It's like a Red Sox-Yankees World
you don't know
Series
what you're talking about.
Or a Yankees-Orioles World Series.
Absolutely not.
One is just a lesser rivalry than the other.
I can't listen to you
All right, once again, Seth has gotten completely off track. Not a surprise.
Another bad Seth tangent.
How is this off track? No, for Scott, the producer, with the ill-timed bell this time.
Seth is so mad for no reason.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
All right, moving on. We got another question from another person that shouldn't be listening to the show. Kevin Durant writes, "Did you hear I gave myself a new nickname? What do you think of the Servant?"
Well, I brought this up last night, and I am the type of guy that doesn't really like LeBron James all that much. There are some of us out there.
It's nobody.
And I think that Kevin Durant can do no wrong. So this was one of the funniest interviews I've ever heard when he mentioned that he serves the ushers. I'm not sure how he serves the ushers.
He says, I like to serve everybody. My teammates, ushers at the game, the fans, like, what?
I'm not sure what it all means, but I like it.
Neither is he.
I feel like it's just he's leveling us with a slavery joke.
Well, no, this is what happened. On Twitter today, he came out and said, I was just joking around with the servant thing.
I can't be the only person that's thought of that. I mean, come on. I feel like it was definitely a joke on his part, but he had to think about that before he went on national television.
He did it on the BS report. It was a joke. It was clearly a joke.
And I don't know why you have to make it all racist, Seth.
It's not racist.
You said the word.
That is good. You mentioned racism.
You said
How
racist.
dare you, Seth?
So.
All right, let's move on since we clearly.
My nickname is the Lender. Is that racist?
Let's go to this. Zach, which nickname did you like better? You like KD? You like the Durantula? Do you like Slim Reaper? Do you like any of those?
I like Durantula.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying all along. Slim Reaper,
What about Kev Dog?
Wow. Okay, we're definitely moving
one.
on
It's
now.
been done. Two, that is terrible.
I completely agree. Terrible.
What about just putting dog on the end of
What
his
about
name?
Kevin Sanity?
Okay, that's
a really good one. He should go with that.
No, it is not.
That's enough.
That has also already been done.
All right, Billy King writes, I managed to pull off the first trade at the deadline, so that makes me relevant again, right? Marcus Thornton was shipped off for Jason Terry and Reggie Evans. What happened? Like, why? What is this trade for?
I don't really care, honestly.
But Billy King just wants to be relevant. That's why he made a trade.
Are any of these people fantasy relevant?
Marcus Thornton will be a guy off the bench they can bring in for some heat checks, I guess.
I've been waiting patiently to see a really good trade, and it's not happening.
Okay, we're going to talk about that after the break, but there are quite a few things brewing. A lot. There's a lot brewing right now.
You see Lamar Odom is now playing for a team in Spain?
Yes, I did see that.
I actually did not see that. How is that relevant to our
It's going to be very interesting to see where Lamar's career takes him from here on out.
Is it? Thank you. Okay, that was our first introduction to Zach, the talking head radio guy. We should all talk like this on the radio and see what happens when we do this.
On the next, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where did Lamar go?
Did they get divorced?
Wow.
My TMZ hasn't told me that yet.
Lamar leaves Chloe and he eats at a Burger King.
Oh, boy.
On the next episode of No One Cares About the Kardashians.
Now he's eating paella.
I can't believe this just broke down to exactly the Kardashian talk.
Oh, it's okay.
This is ruined. The whole show is ruined.
Did you see that some dude was smelling Paris Hilton as she got off a plane?
Okay, seriously.
It was hilarious.
We have one more question to get to.
I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah, you just,
I enabled him.
We went through this toilet bowl.
Whenever I make something TMZ related, I'm a Seth enabler.
All right. Syracuse is playing BC right now, so we have a question from Michael Carter-Williams, who's probably watching this game at home. The 76ers told me I have the flu, but I feel fine. Why did they tell me they would double my salary if I just stayed home?
Is that what happened?
They literally told him he had the flu, so he needed to go home. He played the other night, and now all of a sudden he's not playing. He's missed 12 games this year from a knee injury that didn't really need that much time.
You know what I think is going on?
Tankapalooza.
Tankapalooza, which, so many NBA teams do it, and there's really not a lot in place to prevent them from doing it. And it damages the games. It damages pretty much every game you can watch.
Who are they tanking for?
For a draft pick.
No, I mean who?
That's actually the good question. Who are they tanking for? Because I've heard of the most NBA-ready prospect right now, it's probably either Wiggins or Parker or Embiid's the project guy, but he's likely going to be a top 2 pick if at worst. I mean, a guy like Tyler Ennis is probably going to be up there at the end after the tournament. He might be a top 5 to 10 guy.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of options, honestly.
It's a deep draft. That's why we're saying
it is.
Tanking,
it's going to be a very exciting draft.
Like with the Celtics, they're like the 4th or 5th worst team in the NBA right now. I love that position because they're going to get a plethora of guys to choose from, especially if they trade somebody like Rondo. You get a guy like Tyler Ennis with the 5th or 6th pick. That's
perfect.
Don't you
say that?
Okay, we're all Celtics fans in here. We'd be sad to see Rondo go, but if they got a package that included expiring big contract and a couple first-round picks, you wouldn't be happy with that?
I would be.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I'd bite my tongue. I'd be sad.
You'd sulk for like 5 minutes and go, oh, wait, we have 2 first-round picks in the best draft in like 15, 20 years? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
Seth, as a faux fan of the Celtics, I have to mention this every time we mention the Celtics. You don't care either way?
No, I really don't. I mean, I like Rondo. I got to play poker with Rondo once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was at Foxwoods, and there was Paul Pierce and Big Al Jefferson.
I love how there was Paul Pierce.
It was Orion Green.
Oh my God, Orion Green! He played a cup of tea in the.
I mean, this was years ago.
Yeah, yes, because Orion Green played 5 minutes in the NBA.
There were some other guys over there. Allen Iverson showed up at like 3 a.m, which was hilarious.
Wait,
it was great.
Was like Philly in town for a game or something?
I don't know. I think
all
he
showed up.
I think he was just friendly with one of the guys that were there. I don't really know how it all came together, but I was there I got to play with them for about an hour until I quit because it was just a way too big of a game.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
I think Jonathan's mailbag should actually turn into just like cool stories. If you guys want to send us cool stories, tweet at SFL Show with your random NBA star stories.
Yeah,
we'll
all
know.
just sit around and say all the cool stuff we've done. Thanks, Seth.
You know what? That's probably better than 90% of the radio out there right now. Just tell us cool stories, guys. SFL Show. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I once met Jenna Jameson.
There you go. That's the best story I've.
As one of the first modern boutique.
Wow, that was amazing. And coming up after the break, we're going to break down Thursday's NBA slate. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
The Star Fantasy League Show is now part of the Nick Bonsanto Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now.
Yep.
right now. We have all the updated info you
Right
need
now.
right now. Right this second. Right?
Yeah.
Do we?
They need us.
Who needs us?
The people.
The person. It's not the people. It's the person. Get this right. Until we get an email or a text or a tweet or a carrier pigeon, we're just going to assume we only have one
Send this
listener.
carrier pigeon.
It's a man named Joel who's hanging out in his mother's basement.
No, it's actually Scott. Scott's our only listener. Hi, Scott. How you doing?
And is Scott the cage? Is Scott the guy in the cage?
No, Scott's our producer, man.
No, well, I didn't know if he was also in the cage.
Oh, maybe they're both.
Yeah.
Maybe they're both the same guy.
Maybe that's
weird.
why they do so well in the cages, because they just get to hang out and talk.
All right, we're going to break down, since we're done just talking smack and having no clue what's going on this show. That's pretty standard. We're going to break down the trade deadline since it is tomorrow at it is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. This is one of my favorite days of the year, honestly, the trade deadline. Hopefully something happens. I'm really excited about it. Let's go over the 2 proposed trades I've heard today. They could be real. They could be fake. They could be leaked. I have no idea. Zach, let's talk about them.
I leaked last night.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for that. Awesome.
Can't see my face right now, but if you could, it's utter disgust.
Well, I thought the people were concerned about how the fallout was going to be.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That
Zach
is-
was sitting here doing a poop dance for a long time.
That is true. All
I
right,
was squirming.
let's go over the first trade. Memphis would send Tony Allen and Tayshaun Prince to Minnesota for J.J. Barea and Chase Budinger. I think there is no chance in hell this is a real trade offer.
I can't say that I care.
No, I'm just saying, like,
I'm completely disinterested in this potential trade. I'm like, oh, J.J. Barea, yeah, I remember when he was a flash in the pan in Dallas. That was cool.
yeah, the only good player in this trade is Tony Allen because he's a stud on defense.
Is anybody really just looking at trading away a marquee player at this point?
There's a couple marquee guys that could move around.
Tony Allen is great in my opinion, and I'm not really sure why they want to get rid of him so bad.
I don't think they do. That's why I think this trade is not a real trade.
Well,
I'm convinced.
the speculation is that Courtney Lee is suddenly thrust himself into the role, and they're so happy with what Courtney Lee's capable of, which, by the way, I was totally upset with how the Celtics handled Courtney Lee.
Yeah, they didn't play him.
Yeah, they never played him, and he was worth playing. I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, he didn't really get a fair.
No,
he got a raw deal.
No, he
in
didn't get an
Boston.
opportunity to play. I thought it was ridiculous.
This is true. All right, so we're saying this trade doesn't matter even if it does go through, but I think there's no way Memphis would screw up that defensive, hard-nosed team they have by getting rid of one of their best defensive players.
Yeah, what a blockbuster deal featuring Tony Allen.
All right, just go from one blockbuster deal to another deal that pretty much features one good player. The Los Angeles Clippers would get Iman Shumpert and Raymond Felton for Darren Collison, Reggie Bullock, and Jared Dudley. Obviously, the best players in that deal are Shumpert and Felton.
Yeah, that seems like a bad deal for New York.
I actually don't think so, and the reason being is
they don't want to pay him, right?
No, they don't want to keep. They've been trying to get rid of Raymond Felton for months.
His contract is massive.
His contract is completely unnecessary. It would clear some room on their cap, and they would get Reggie Bullock, who, although he hasn't performed well this year so far,
he's a project.
He's a project, and he has shown that he could potentially have a lot of upside.
Yeah, I'm reading from all the rumors. They say that the Clippers are actually reluctant to do the deal because Bullock's involved.
Yeah, I don't think they'd have a problem getting rid of Jared Dudley or Darren Collison the way they've played.
No, Dudley's a good role player, but that's all he is.
Yeah, and I think Doc Rivers would do a great job with Shumpert. I think that's a really good
point.
He'd be a great coach for Shumpert. Raymond Felton, great backup.
He's an upgrade over Collison. I'll say.
Yeah,
that
that would make the Clippers a lot deeper, and I think would give them a shot.
Yeah, I think that's. What
They're
shoring up their rotation. They want Crawford to go back to the bench. They'd put Shumpert in at the 2. Felton's the backup point guard. It allows Crawford to go back to what he does: play 25, 35 minutes off the bench, be a streaky shooter like he likes to be. That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
What do you think, Seth?
Did Shumpert go to Georgia? Is that right?
I actually don't remember.
I think it was Georgia Tech, actually.
I think it was Georgia Tech, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know enough about the Knicks to know that Shumpert is pretty good, and I don't think he's getting enough time over there. But I would like to see him go under somebody like Doc Rivers, who I think could
he has shown flashes.
Do well with him.
He's shown flashes of
he's
a lot of potential. He's very
that
athletic. Honestly, the first year that I saw him when he was a rookie, I was really excited for the Knicks and what they had acquired. But
yeah, I agree.
He's leveled off a little bit.
Raymond Felton's really slow too. I don't know.
Raymond Felton likes to come into camp overweight.
Yeah.
So
this is
that's usually not somebody that you want on your team that can't even stay fit in the offseason when it's pretty much their only job.
Unless he's not doing crack in the offseason like some other people.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about who does that. All right, let's go over the buyers and sellers at the deadline and who we don't know where the heck they're going. These are the teams. I'm going to lightning round real quick. Who you think if they're gonna do anything at all? Who you think they might move? Sellers at the deadline. I have Philadelphia. Anything?
Potentially Thaddeus Young, Evan Turner. I think at this point in the year, and with the people that have been made potentially available heading into the trade deadline, you're looking at higher level teams that are looking to make a run.
Yeah,
there's not any big names available, and honestly, some of the big names that are getting thrown out there, nobody that is in the quote unquote running for them has enough pieces to put together to make it desirable. So
yeah, I would say Kevin Love is apparently on the table, but not really. Like,
why would Minnesota trade away Kevin Love?
Because there's no way they're re-signing him. 0% chance.
Why do you say that?
It's unfortunate the way that the NBA works, honestly, because the bad teams stay bad.
Yeah, it's not even the bad teams. It's the small market teams like the Minnesotas, the Milwaukees. I mean, who wants to go play there when there's places that are nice like Miami? Zero sales tax, right?
Interest.
Zero
state income tax.
Thank you, state income tax. What I was looking for. Yeah,
why it's great for a player.
Why wouldn't you want to go to Texas? There's 3 teams there. You could play for, again.
Guys like Derek Jeter make their home in Florida. Same with Tiger Woods.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, another team I think is going to be a seller at the deadline, the LA Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers have a couple players that you can look at.
Hill's apparently going every which way.
Yeah, Hill is going every which way, and that's another thing that I don't understand. I really don't know how to analyze that, because from what I have seen out of Jordan Hill, he's still
athletic, right?
He's still
a
very
big
young.
guy.
He's very athletic. He plays hard. He's a rebounder. I think he could be a great pet project for any team.
Yeah,
I really do.
Completely agree. I feel like Kaman could go. There's a bunch of pieces. They're in such injury
And then
issues.
everybody else that they have, honestly, it's hard to carry.
Yeah, they're terrible pieces. Cleveland, apparently they're shopping Luol Deng already. Can you believe that?
I can.
That's all I wanted to say about that. And who's going to take him? He said he's not going to re-sign with anybody yet.
It's incompetent.
Yep. Don't do it.
He'll join
Please
Lamar
stop.
Odom in Spain.
Ugh. All right. We have a couple teams that might be buyers. Brooklyn's apparently interested in Jordan Hill. I mean, they're going to be $100 million over the cap.
Actually, this will help put them down a little bit if they make the trade that they're talking about.
What was the proposed? I didn't see it.
Actually, no, that's not right.
Yeah,
I'm incorrect. The Reggie Evans trade and
that put him under by $1 million.
That brought him down a little bit.
They saved $1 million. Congratulations.
They've poorly mismanaged their team, but to have any relevance in the playoffs, they're going to need a big man that can, 1, stay healthy, that 2, can play more than 28 minutes per game, Kevin Garnett, and 3, that plays defense and doesn't just jack up every shot when he gets the ball, Andre Blatch.
I'll say, oh, yeah. And now they just got Marcus Thornton to do that same thing that they just didn't want to do. Oops. Another team that's apparently a buyer I couldn't believe this team was listed. Charlotte Bobcats are buyers at the deadline. They want to be good. They're the eighth team in the playoffs right now. They're looking to get better and not just like middle away in the first round of the playoffs.
I would really like to see the Bobcats be good, and I would like to see the turn of them actually becoming relevant be when they switch over to become the Hornets again.
That would be
I think
really
that'd be great.
Cool. I feel
the
like
Hornets are back.
That'd be awesome. Is
they're
that
gonna,
actually happening?
Yeah, they're next year.
Fantastic.
Yep. Yeah,
the Bobcats, it's over.
The first basketball game I ever saw was a Knicks-Hornets game so many years ago with my grandfather.
Oh,
Memories.
that's adorable. I love these
That
family
is very
stories.
nice.
It was
All
nice.
right, that's a good point to switch over to Daily Fantasy NBA for Thursday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. We only have a 3-game slate. That's why we kind of didn't want to spend 14 minutes talking about 3 boring. That's what a lot of these shows like to do. They're like, we're going to overanalyze every player. No, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't.
Tweet us at SFL Show if you want us to hear every single player's breakdown, because clearly you don't, right?
Just don't tweet us. Don't bother. What do you think?
Don't talk
Turn
to
off your
us.
computer.
Don't tweet us. Put it in the bathtub. Zach said put it in the bathtub with him.
No, Seth
he said it,
that.
and then you go sit in your bathtub with it. Really creepily. It was kind of awkward. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so
if it's not plugged in, you'll just damage it.
We got 3 games. Which game are you looking at? I see there's 3, but one of them I'm staying away from kind of, and 2 of them I'm more interested in. I'm assuming you know where I'm heading, right?
I don't know if I know where you're heading, because honestly, I am very concerned with the Denver-Milwaukee game. That is
really? You think that's going to be blowout city?
No, that's just the game that I would shy away from. These 2 teams, as of late, there's really nobody that you can depend on. You can't depend on Randy Foye. You can't depend on Wilson Chandler. You can't depend on their ever-cycling shooting guards that they put in. I think that Fareed has value tomorrow night against a Bucks team that really struggles.
And they have no big men healthy.
I know, but the centers in Denver, it's such a mess, and it drives me crazy. And the same.
Hold on. What about the Nate Walters kid? He was going off for 30-plus fantasy points in like 3 straight
Yeah,
games. His salary is at like $0.
That is very interesting. I'm not really sure what is going on with that. But he clearly has some skills. This guy put up a wide stat line last night, and they're going to give him the minutes if he keeps playing this well. The problem
he's putting up
is that Larry
numbers.
Drew is freaking crazy, and he cycles through people constantly. That's my big concern with this game. The only person that really doesn't get damaged by that cycling, because they cycle in their forwards in and out all the time, is Brandon Knight, who I really like tomorrow, typically because it looks like Ty Lawson's not going to play. And in the last few games, the last 15 games, the Nuggets have been 20th against the point guard position, which is a big fall off from when Lawson is playing, and that is largely due to the fact that Randy Foye isn't really good at defense.
He's not a point guard.
And this is a fast-paced game. Every game tomorrow night of the 3 has large over-unders.
Correct.
And yeah, I think Brandon Knight's a guy to look at. I also think if you're looking for value, Caron Butler could be an option.
Ooh,
because
Caron.
they've needed him to put in some minutes, and
No
he's
Ilyasova?
produced 2 out of the last 3 games. I'm not even going to talk about Ilyasova. He drives me absolutely nuts.
I want to talk about Ilyasova.
Henson, Pachulia, Ilyasova, crazy.
Okay. Let's move on.
Look at me.
Let's move on to another game that
I've got my forehead vein showing.
I know.
Right
I
now.
only want to talk about the 2 guys that everyone wants to talk about tomorrow. Actually, maybe 3. Oklahoma City, Miami. This is going to be a marquee matchup, obviously. We mentioned every Thursday they're on TV, so we're going to get to see this game clearly. You have to go. The big guys play big in these marquee matchups, right? They have to.
I don't think you're going to be able to put together a winning lineup
With both? You can't get Nate Walters in there. You can't get a couple of these other
I guess
cheapy
that
guys
depends, because Nate Walters is pretty low on
Yeah,
SFL,
he's like
isn't he?
3,800 or 4,500.
Yeah, the Nate Walters is definitely worth a look. It all depends on whether you can get them both in. I think there are some good options in both of these later games. I think that if you end up picking one of Durant or LeBron, I think that Ibaka is an option against a weak interior for Miami. The later game's also going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
Houston
looking
Golden
forward
State's
to
going
it.
to be fast-paced. I feel like David Lee's got a really, really premier matchup in that game. He's going to be against a guy who literally can't guard him.
Yeah, it's the largest over-under game of the night.
Yep.
Terrence Jones and the constantly shuffling in and out of the power forward position should benefit David Lee. If Bo gets out, he'll be more of a focal point in the offense.
I think Bogut was, already announced to be out.
Okay,
for tomorrow's game.
I'm guessing.
That's why I'm really high on Lee. I'm also really high on Klay Thompson. Houston doesn't guard the 2 very well. He's the guy that can go off for big numbers.
Yeah, I like Klay Thompson
especially
too.
at home.
He's had 28 points and 27 points in the last 2 times they've met together. And obviously, if you're not putting in both LeBron and Durant, which are both more expensive than Steph Curry, I think you have to give Steph Curry a look too.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say
It's a high-paced game. I'm not really worried about. Curry is more or less matchup proof. He really is.
This is
so he
completely
can
true.
go off any night, and he loves to go off prime time at home.
All right, Zach, this is your favorite part of the night. I'm going to drum roll it. Brrr. No, that was it. Okay, what's your play of the night? I know you got one.
Play of the night.
My play of the night is...
You want music. You're not getting music.
That was terrible. And I don't appreciate it, honestly, what you're trying to do there, Seth.
Yeah, you're
Play of
getting
the night?
No.
No, I mean, if you let me know before we go on, maybe I'll let you do that. But my play of the night is LeBron James. I am not going with Kevin Durant, and the reason for that is because Russell Westbrook is coming back tomorrow night, and who knows how many minutes he's going to play or what effect he's going to have. But I don't like it. I love the way LeBron's playing right now, even though I don't really like it.
You heard it. It's LeBron James for Zach's play of the night. And we're wrapping it up after the break. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League show with Jonathan, Zach, and Seth.
You're up.
We are wrapped up on yet another
Turn off your radio.
lovely edition.
Turn it off.
Oh, my God.
Turn it off.
I can't do this
turn off your
anymore.
radio.
Great show tonight.
Yeah, it was a great show. And then Seth just had to...
Tons of fun besides Seth, of
It was
course.
a terrible show.
Oh, my God. Why are you
Turn
such
your
a
radio off.
negative
Why
Nancy?
are you listening to this?
Oh, wow.
What's the opposite of endorsing?
De-dorsing.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Thank you,
yeah.
Seth, for your just lovely contribution as always.
Endorsing.
Man, we had such a great a great show, and then it completely broke down. We have nothing to talk about. I don't even want to look at you guys anymore. Can we just end this now?
No.
No, we can.
No.
Turn off your radio.
No, that's not okay.
The Syracuse game is in overtime right now, which is
Yeah,
kind of exciting.
it's very true. We're going to go watch that because, let's be honest, we all want to watch that. We don't care. But before we do that, Seth, break down what's happening on StarFantasyLeagues.com. We normally are not on Wednesdays. We're going to be on 5 days a week this week, so we're going to bring you even more value, even more breakdowns on the Star Fantasy League show.
We have a $50 free roll on Thursday at StarFantasyLeagues.com.
Tuesday and Thursday.
So come and get your game on for free. You don't have to put up any money. For $0, you make an account. You come play, win your share of $50, and start to learn how to play daily fantasy basketball.
Get your game on.
And on Friday, we have $2,000 guaranteed for our NBA contest. So you can make a deposit and you can play with your with cash, and you can win your share of $2,000.
Yeah, and that's not it. I believe we also have some free offers.
We certainly do. If you tweet us at SFL Show, we'll give you a $5 credit as long as you're eligible. So come and enjoy the games.
Yeah, no strings attached, man. What's better than just like free money in your account? Is there anything better?
Bananas. John Kitna.
I can't even
TJ
believe.
Oshie's fiance.
No, okay.
I could go on. There are a lot of things better.
My bathroom visits.
Oh man, I feel like this show is just there's no way to
Extra
end.
soft Charmin toilet paper.
Tacos.
Continue. Go ahead.
A good jalapeno.
Oh, I like
A
it.
nicely shaven blade of
A
grass.
firm handshake.
A nice warm blanket.
Quesadillas.
Donald mask.
Okay.
15.
All right, and that ends it.
Paintball.
If you don't know anything about TJ Oshie's wife or girlfriend or whatever, we'll help you make it
Pregnant
better.
fiance.
Oh, sorry, pregnant fiance. We'll help you make a better lineup next time. Talk to you guys later.
Soft toilet paper.